Next game, Bulls, Timberwolves, 8 o'clock, Minnesota. The T-Wolves are laying 4.5 at home, total 225 and a hook. Right now, Chicago is plus a $1.65 for an upset outright victory on the road. It's going to be tough for them. Levine, Dunn, Cornette, Hutchison, they are all out. Markkanen listed as questionable. Having said that, though, Chicago, winners of 2 out of their last 4. They beat the Pelicans and the Heat during that stretch. They're also 4-1 against the spread, taking on they're 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games, taking on a member of the Northwest Conference. They're 21-18 against the spread when catching the points this year, and they're 13-9 against the spread as the official road dog. So it's not an absolutely terrible spot for Chicago backers. Now Minnesota on the other side, they failed to cover the number in their first matchup with Chicago. And check this out, they're just 2-14 against the spread as the official home favorite. A couple more things to add about Minnesota. They've dropped 7 out of their last 9 games. They also went just 33% against the spread during that stretch. Minnesota bottom 3 in points allowed, dead last in defensive rebounding. They're allowing 117 points per game. Of course, Karl Anthony Towns still out indefinitely. One more thing to add about Minnesota. 29 home games on the year this year thus far. They've been victorious in just 7 of them. 7-22 straight up at home this year. Now, total-wise, the T-Wolves are 80% to the over in their last 10. Chicago, 7-3 to the over in their last 10 themselves. I'm going to lean toward the road dog in this one. Give me Chicago plus 4.5 and the over 225.5 in that contest. Next game, Pelicans, Mavs, 9:30 Dallas. The Mavericks are laying 6.5 at home, total 236. We are seeing money on the Pelicans and the over in this one. Half a point fade of Dallas. Half a point move upward on the total. The Mavs open -7 down to -6.5. Total open 235.5 up to 236. Right now the Pels are plus 220 on the money line. And if you like New Orleans in this matchup here, not too bad against the spread when traveling. They are 17-13 against the spread on the road. They rank at the top 5 in the NBA in scoring on average per game. Top 5 in offensive rebounding. They're averaging 116 points per contest. They're also shooting 37.3% from beyond the arc. Now, a couple more things to add about the Pels. They're only 4 games back of the 8th seed, so they are very much alive in the playoff race right now. They also rank in the top 10 in road scoring, top 3 in road 3-point percentage. Now, Dallas on the other side, we have Barea, Curry, and Porzingis all listed as questionable. They've dropped 2 out of their last 3 games, and they've actually lost to Chicago and Atlanta within their last 10. Now, Dallas struggles against the number at home. They've covered just 12 out of 30 home games this year, and they currently rank 18th in the NBA in home offensive field goal percentage. Now, the Mavs are 60% to the over in their last 10, 18-12 to the over on their home court. The Pelicans on the other side, 70% to the over in their last 10 themselves, 18-12 to the over when they travel. I'm going to lean toward another road underdog in this one. Give me the Pelicans plus 6.5. And the over 236 in that game. Next and final matchup for the show, it is going to be Wizards, Blazers, 10 o'clock Portland. The Blazers are laying 7.5 at home, total at 240 and a hook. Now we are seeing money on Washington in this one. We're also seeing movement toward the over, no real surprise there. Portland open 8.5, down to -7.5. Total open 240 up to 240 and a hook. And right now, Washington is plus 285 on the money line. Now, the Wizards successfully covered the number in 4 out of their last 5. They covered against Utah and Milwaukee during that stretch. The Wizards also rank in the top 5 in the NBA in scoring on average per game, top 10 in shooting the 3-ball. They're averaging 117 points per contest when they travel. They're also shooting 37.1% from downtown when they travel as well. Portland on the other side, losers of 6 out of their last 8. They also went just 2-6 against the spread in those 8 games. Now keep an eye on Damian Lillard. He's listed as questionable for tonight's action. So I'm not sure if he's guaranteed to come back or not. I see many spots listing him as questionable. Portland, 11-18 against the spread at home. They're also allowing 116 points per game. Now total-wise, Portland, 60% to the over in their last 10. 18-11 to the over at the Moda Center. I'm going to lean toward my 3rd straight road dog. Give me Washington plus 7.5. And the over 240.5 in that game. All right, let's go ahead and dive into some shout-outs. Once again, brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage. Where once again, we improved to 11-3 in our last 14 NBA tier package plays yesterday. Shout out to Macaroni Tony, Roy Munson, Vlone Lewis, Blaine Lyons, Gambling Junkie, Carlos Gomez, Straight to the Point, Tony Payne, Stephen Lewis, Ant Ruga, RMS, Andy Raphael, and last but certainly not least, got to give a shout out to Mike Wilson. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Happy Wednesday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.